First, Mr. Speaker, I want to avail myself of the protection of both Standing Order number 121 and your chair, because in the course of this debate, we have seen a lot of interruptions, especially from our friends in the majority side. I don't think that there was an intention on their part to allow us to debate this particular speech. Mr. Speaker, having
Senator Cherargei,
sought that protection.
What is the protection that you need from the chair?
Yes, I want some
silence. Because you already say protected and covered by the brand. So what else do you need from
Yes,
me?
I want to avail myself of that protection because of what we have seen in previous debates. But allow me to continue, Mr. Speaker. That, in fact, as has been noted
because you're eating into your time, Senator Sifuna.
Has been noted by our colleagues who have gone before me in this debate. We have come from a very acrimonious election, Mr. Speaker. And the result of that election shows you that, in fact, the country is very evenly divided amongst the various political formations in the country. What that means, Mr. Speaker, is that even as we congratulate the people who won, there are a lot of people in this country who are still hurting from the result of the election. And I think it is only fair that everybody be accorded their time to be able to heal at their own pace. I don't think anybody can force anyone to move on with life at the pace at which they want. So it is that particular point that I want to start with by addressing those of us who did not vote for the current president or the current government. I want to make it clear, Mr. Speaker, that there is nothing wrong with us. There is nothing wrong with anyone who supported Raila Odinga. There is nothing wrong with anyone who voted for Baba or for the coalition called Azimio. And we know what people are going through at the moment. I want to tell them that even this will come to pass. There are more than enough moments that Baba has been vindicated, and this is not going to be any different. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I want to pick up from where the President was speaking about this election. And in my view, as a senator, is that they say with great power comes great responsibility. If we want this country to move on faster, I think the responsibility is greater on those who are calling themselves the victors than those who did not win this particular election. So when the President comes to address the nation or to speak to parliamentarians the way he gave his first address, it is our request, our expectation, that the President will demonstrate some magnanimity and some grace, and remember that the election now is behind us, Mr. Speaker. So, in my own opinion, he should be discouraged, and those of us who are his friends, like my friend Cherargei, should dissuade the President when he is speaking to the nation from throwing in unnecessary jibes, like the ones he was throwing during his address to the Parliament on the question of who was the opposition candidate and who was the government candidate. I don't think it is necessary. We need now to all move on from this particular election. Mr. Speaker, allow me to address the things that I heard the President say, and then to address the questions or the things that I didn't hear the President say.
Senator Sifuna, you wanted protection from the chair, but you are the one who is causing your insecurity. And
Mr. Speaker,
please let us avoid a lot of point of orders, because many senators in this room want to contribute to this motion.
Mr. Speaker,
so what is out of order, Honorable Cherargei? Which standing order are you putting? Which standing order, which number?
Mr. Speaker, on a related issue, understanding order number 1, which of course you have powers. Mr. Speaker, if you have noticed, we are disadvantaged on this side because our cards are not functional. And therefore, if we have any matter to raise, either as a point of order or any other issue, Mr. Speaker, can you direct the officers from ICT to ensure our cards are functional? Because the way Senator Sifuna is going, we might need some necessary and important interventions at some point. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, Senator Cherargei, anytime you want to raise any issue, just catch the Speaker's eye and you'll be given that opportunity. No, wake up, start, put hands up, raise up from the seat, All those are acceptable. Traditional methods. Yeah. Proceed, Senator.
Mr. Speaker, you can see
Sifuna.
why I took the earliest possible opportunity to seek your protection, because I know exactly what I am
Because you do the
expecting
news you
on this
have
particular
is,
floor this afternoon.
acrimonious.
Mr. Speaker,
Okay, proceed.
let me conclude that particular point that I was making by saying that all of us now recognize that we have one leadership in the country, and that in fact, as SG of ODM, I've said this before, and I want to put it here on record, none of us in ODM or in the opposition or minority party want this president or this government to fail. We are here to ensure that we provide the necessary supervision on this particular government so that they succeed. So, Mr. Speaker, first let me join hands or join the president in congratulating all the women, the extra women who are able to be elected as members of parliament in the individual constituencies. We know that it has been a difficult, process in this country to try and make sure that we achieve gender parity, especially in the National Assembly. I am very proud again, Mr. Speaker, as SG of ODM, that out of those 6 extra seats that we got or won in the, that women got in the National Assembly, 2 of them actually came from ODM. And I am happy that in this House we have leaders of political parties. I have counted at least 3 SGs in this Senate, Mr. Speaker. And I am sure they will share in my disappointment, because one of the senators, when speaking to this point, I believe it was Senator Peris Tobiko, urged that political parties need to do more in order to encourage more women to participate in election and to actually end up elected. But I am sure the SGs in this House can share in my experience that in fact, if we do not relook at the entire architecture of how people get elected to individual posts, then it is going to be very difficult for us to be able to achieve the gender parity that we are looking for. This first past the post system, Mr. Speaker, simply does not work if you wanted to achieve gender parity in the Houses of Parliament. So I am hoping that even as people continue to ask political parties to do more, we can have a relook at the entire architecture so that we don't just blame political parties for not doing enough to have women elected. Now, I was happy to hear the President